Okay, so now after the barriers have been removed, Professor Monk is going to disinfect the operatory. She's got her utility gloves on. And notice I said disinfect because there was no splash or splatter in this room. So we really do not need to do the 2 wipes. We're gonna do 1 wipe to disinfect. Now, if that was something different during your procedure, then you would have to do your 2 wipes. Okay, so she's gonna grab her wipes. Okay. Good, and now, so what we want to do, let's talk about the patient apron right here, the lead apron. So if you see the collar is folded up on it, we're just going to wipe that collar because when we take x-rays, we put the patient napkin over the front of the lead apron. So this is the only thing that you need to wipe unless something fell down in this area, then you would need to wipe that area. Okay, so we want to try to keep this apron clean. Okay, next she's going to do the sensor. So this is a tricky one. So the sensor, make sure when you put the sensor over, when you break down the room, again, that there's enough hanging down and that it's going behind the laptop so that that kind of holds it as well. So she's gonna grab the sensor, being very careful, expensive piece of equipment. She's gonna wipe, she's holding with her 1 wipe, and she's wiping down the cord and wiping the sensor. Okay, remember that had a barrier on it, but those barriers can be broken. And the sensor is actually a semi-critical item, but it cannot be gone through the processor, so we do need to wipe that in addition to the barrier. Perfect, she's making sure that's nice and clean. We're gonna drape that over our clean laptop. And now she's gonna go to the PID. So remember we had a barrier on, right? We had a barrier here and here. So she's gonna just do this arm because that arm usually gets contaminated when you're taking x-rays because that barrier moves. And then usually we touch that whole thing when we're taking x-rays. So she wants to wipe up that whole arm, come over, and you see she's holding it with 1 wipe. Then she's doing 2 wipes. So you wanna be able to go quickly when you're doing these things. So if you see she's using both hands, getting that chemical on, perfect. There we go, she's holding it, putting it back. Remember, we don't need to do the control panel because it had the barrier. Now she's gonna come to our counter right here, and we're just gonna wipe that counter really quickly to make sure that we didn't get off of our tray. Make sure our counter's nice and clean. Perfect. And now we're gonna go to the chair. So remember that there was a shower cap on the headrest, so we don't need to do that. We're gonna just do the back of the chair. And again, she's using both hands. So she's wiping, getting that chemical all over the chair, the armrests, getting those armrests good, and that seat. Perfect, the other armrest. Great, perfect. Now she's gonna use those wipes to clean her gloves. So we're gonna clean those gloves really well because those are gonna go back into our basket. So she's cleaning with 1 wipe. Getting them nice and clean in case we touched anything. And then just for safe measures, we're gonna do 1 more wipe to make sure that our gloves are disinfected because we're gonna be handling those without any gloves on in our PPE basket. And you notice when she takes a wipe out that she wipes the top of the lid there just to make sure that that stays not contaminated. So now we're getting our chemical all over our gloves. You can see she's got it on there. Perfect. Get it all over. And then we are done.